men I have met. He is unbelievable in design and what he does. We talk often about how, as designers, it's so important that you really connect with people who are doing their craft 40 hours a week. They know it inside and out. We're kind of the jack of all trades, but you really want to focus in on those people who are experts and can help you and your client get the project done on time, on budget, and all of that. So I'm going to pass it over to Peter if you want to introduce yourself. Sure. And all that. Tell
My
them.
name is Peter Colucci, designer extraordinaire. So, thank you for laughing. A little bit about myself. I've been in business here, Windowology / we've now merged with World Class for 11 years now. So yeah, it goes by fast, let me tell you. And I'm originally from Portland, Maine, and moved out here in '81. So I'm more Californian than I am a maniac. And it is a beautiful state, but it wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. I moved out here, lived in San Francisco for about 6 years, moved to Castro Valley with a partner, and decided that I needed some more what do you call it, artistic outlet. I was outside sales. I was selling coffee to restaurants and donut shops. So I got to eat donuts all day. My favorite. And so yeah, I decided, called up, Las Positas and said, do you have a design class? And they said, well, yes, we do. We just started a design, design criteria. And I said, sign me up. So I took one class at a time because I was still working, and the boards killed me when you're doing the design boards. I had everything on it. So my big thing was editing. So I put everything on it, start taking things off. So yeah, so you'll get good at that. And let's see, so after that, went into furniture, and was at Ethan Allen for a while, and Bassett Furniture in Dublin, and still have contacts through all of those, which you need to keep in touch with them. Just say, hey, how you doing? Been thinking about you. Where did you go on vacation? That kind of thing. So yeah, it's good. And so that's a little bit about me. World Class, well, let's go with Windowology first. Windowology is home here. It's been in business for over 30 years, same location. This used to be a house, so this used to be the garage right here, and then they changed everything up to the office space. In the back is, we have manufacturing. So we do roller shades, cell shades, and also that kind of stuff. Zebra shades too. I'm not sure if you really know what those are, but I'll show you a little bit back there. So yeah, they're there. Family-run business. World Class is a family-run business outside of, they started out Brentwood. They've been in business for 20 years, and Windowology thought that would be a good fit, that both families are merged together. So yeah, we're doing well. This is going to be really informal. If you have a question, raise your hand. I will not be upset.
Do you prefer that people ask you questions at the end of certain segments, or is it okay they interrupt you?
Interrupt.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Do that. Okay. So, welcome designers. You are the experts. You know a lot more than some of your clients. You'll get a real good feel when you sit down and ask them questions. Tell me a little bit about your project. Tell me a little bit about your project. What do you feel? Where are you going to go with this? What feeling do you need, or what do you like in your project? They'll tell you. And if they start going, well, I don't know if I can do that, I say, tell me everything, whether you think it's physically impossible or not. Just tell me everything, and we can go from there.
Edit.
Edit. When you are going on that call, do your homework first. They'll probably say, "Oh, I'm looking for cell shades." You know a little bit about cell shades or drapery or whatever they're doing. Kind of do your little homework first. Be prepared. In your bag of tricks, have I call it a laser measure, tape measure. I have a little bit of scissors, because you never know when you're going to use those. And it's basically your office. So I've got whiteout, I've got extra pens, pad of paper. When you sit down, you talk to the people, talk to your clients, take notes, but don't take notes like this. Take notes and like, okay, and then look up at them and say, oh, okay, wow. Then when you do hit the house, be professional. I would say, ladies, wear slacks. You don't want to be up on a ladder measuring in a dress and having your client sit down and look at your business. Okay? So I would strongly suggest that. Be, let me see, I'm kind of lost my, yep, listen, take notes, and also ask questions. Like when you first walk in, go, oh, I got a nice feeling about this house. They'll say, oh, thank you. Well, I'd like to change this, this, and this. And so that way you kind of get a little idea of where they're going with their project. Compliment them, be sincere. They can spot off insincerity. That's nice. No. They can do that. And think of it like, that designer's coming to your home. How would you want to be treated? How would you like to react to this? Okay. Take notes, listen to them, let them see that you understand them. Have them explain to you what the project is entailed. Then listen to them, take the notes, and then when they're kind of done, just say, okay, this is what I heard you were saying, and then reaffirm what's going on there. Sometimes they'll say, oh, no, that wasn't it. So then you kind of back up again, take that. So it's good. Just make it simple, make it kind of light and breezy, like you're having a friend over for coffee. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's understanding. So next we'll kind of go into the textiles. Fabric, I love it. There are less fabric, I should say, than there are paint colors. So if somebody is going through a project that's saying, oh, I'm going to paint this color, that color, say, let's get the fabric done first. I'll give you a sample of the fabric so you can take it to the paint store, and then that is an easier way of having that work out for you. It's so much better than having to go back and kind of like, oh, that's not the right kind of green. Yeah. And when you're in, I've done this myself. I've designed myself into a corner. Oh, this would look great with forest green drapes and forest green chairs. Well, there isn't forest green anymore, so it's very hard to pick it up. Just kind of give them a little broad thing. Oh yeah, I think. Well, let me marinate on that. I'll get back to you. So they'll thank you for that. Other than think, I had my heart set on this green. I had one client that wanted to reupholster her love seat in red. Well, there are many reds, but the red that she wants is still up here. It says you'll never find it. And really honest with you, you'll never find it. That red is not this red, it's not that red, it's, so be direct with them. They'll appreciate it. And so fabric, draperies. We got different styles of fabric, different pleats. We have the 3-finger, which is, the regular French pleat. An inverted pleat, hardly anybody uses that. Goblet, hardly anybody uses that one too. And then a 3-finger, they call it European pleat, up on top. Each company has a different name for it, so don't feel that you are, you can, I'm nervous.
You are doing great, Peter.
Yes.
What do you guys think? Exhale. You're doing great.
Wonderful.
It's a lot harder up there than out here,
Yes,
isn't
it is. You got all these eyes looking at you,
And you're gorgeous.
especially in this color red. So with draperies, you can go wild. If you can imagine it, you can do it. What I've done is in a couple of clients that they had a little girl's room. In the pleats, I put a little bling right there, then a little pearl on there. So yeah, if you can think it, do it. I had one client that had, I don't know why I did this, bow ties for the little boy's room. Made bow ties out of attached it to the pleat there. She loved it. So, imagine it.
Okay.
You can do it. You can do it. So also I want to say, in your design magazines, pick something out that you like. I'm in the window treatment business, so I'm going through magazines and pulling out all the stuff that I think my clients would like. Goes all the way to the top, doesn't go all the way to the top, has different options, palladium windows, all this and that. So a lot of them say, oh, I told one client that I'd like to have woven woods for the window coverings, and then with drapery panels on the side. What does that look like? Oh, here. Got it right here.
And Peter, wouldn't you say, even though you're in this industry and you've seen it all, you haven't seen it all?
I have not seen it all.
It is amazing. I was just on looking at houses for sale. What's the website? Zillow. And I saw a home, not a model home, a normal home, and I had never seen that kind of window treatment before in all my years of looking and specking, and I thought, oh, let me just take some pictures of that and I'll share it with you guys in class.
Absolutely. So we had a magazine of the industry at one point, and these ladies have different options for the windows. There's one with an Elvis guitar. And here's one with the big bow tie.
Oh,
Bow on that.
gorgeous.
Yeah. And
Hollywood.
these guys are, most of these ladies that win the window treatments things are from the South, and they love to have 5 or 6 layers of window treatments in it. They love it. Californians? No. There was, speaking of that, I submitted one of my jobs to this magazine, and I got second place. It was the fabric was really unusual, and it was kind of like, it looked like shimmering water, and it was an elderly home development, and in their space they had a round turret and tried to find a round curtain rod to put those things on. Then the fabric was there, but I romanced it to the sound that this community, it lives next to a babbling brook where the sun shines on it, and just laid it on.
Laid it on, yeah.
And it got me second place.
Awesome,
So
that's
you never
great.
know.
Can you speak to that? Because we come up against those kind of things all the time where we have that condition where there are not ready-made rods. What do you do in that situation, Peter?
There are curved rods. There are rods that can go to a bay window.
Mhm.
Most of them are motorized. You can, yeah, you can do that. They are not very decorative, usually. They're more kind of a conventional white on that. You can get decorative rods, you know, where they have elbows, which they connect to it. Not very good for the round, but it's good for the bay window. Yeah.
And you can, what I've done in aftermarket is actually painted them
Oh.
where they're gonna be shown, where they will be seen,
Mm-hmm.
cause I didn't want white.
Yeah.
You know, so there's all kinds of things you can do. That's when it really helps to know your contractor, know your paint contractor. It's really important. You have these relationships that you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah. And know your workroom too, because I had another client, I'm sorry, I'm bragging. I had another client that wanted 25-foot drapes in
Ah,
there. So I had
wow.
a big chunky
Yeah, so
rod.
you
Yeah.
can't hear that back here.
I had a client that did 25 and wanted the 25-foot drapes.
Oh.
Yeah,
It's true stories. That's
2 stories. And I had to put a chunky rod on there with the rings. And typically the pleats are 3 inches. I asked my workroom if she could make it 8 inches, just so that when you look up at it, it's not this wimpy little thing. You've got proportion. Yeah, so she did it, and I don't know how she did it, but she did it, and it was great.
it's incredible.
Incredible. Speaking of proportion, I had this cornice and drapery
Mm-hmm.
on it. The draperies just sit off to the side. They just look pretty.
Yeah.
Just so that you know, this is 193 inches wide,
Wow.
36 inches high, and yet it doesn't look that big, does it?
No. How thick was your stack on a 2-foot story drapery?
She wanted it really thin, so it was 20
Ooh.
inches. Yeah,
Okay.
I would have had double.
Yeah.
Yeah, for that more voluptuous feel.
Yes.
Yeah. So on these, this was the tape. See how wide that tape is? It doesn't look that wide here. That's all proportion.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you explain for our students with the tape what you're referring to?
Sure. It's fabric tape from all of the fabric companies, and what they did was just kind of sewed it. They sewn it to the edge. Now you can have that any way you like because it's all custom. You can have a lot more drapery showing than the tape, but whatever that tape width is, let that be your return. Okay, so it wouldn't do good if you had the tape that kind of wrapped around it. Okay.
Thank you.
Answer your question?
I have a question.
Sure.
So we learned that it's difficult to match the fabric to the wall, but it's easier to match the wall to the fabric. So coming from this industry, can you explain like what does it actually mean?
What I meant by that?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. There are very few colors of fabric, right? That all comes in this, and all the books, and that's where your base is, say. Then you take this to your Benjamin Moore company and say, I'd like something that matches this or complement this. You know, that's where you know that your color wheel, you know, orange complements blue, that kind of stuff. Yeah, so yeah, that's what I meant by that. You can take this to the fabric store and compare it right there. What it's going for.
For those of you who have had principals, what's the last thing you select in a design?
Paint color.
That's what Peter's talking about.
Yeah.
Because fabric, like he's saying, is so hard to select. And when you find that right fabric that you're building a design around, paint is absolutely the least of your problems. So make
Yeah.
sure, just like Peter's saying, select your fabric prior to your paint.
If it's a white wall, you got no problem. Yeah.
Do your clients prefer, like, what's the percentage of difference? Is it wall coverings for practicality, like for usage, or wall coverings for aesthetics?
Mostly aesthetics.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of clients that do shutters, and when I'm there measuring for shutters, I don't like that look where it's just the wall of shutter. I said, oh, maybe next time we can, in phase 2, we can put a drapery panels on each side just to kind of soften it up. Everything is whole hard and angular. And I go, oh, I never thought of that. Or they'll go, no. That's my mother. No, I want it clean.
Now that was genuine. Actually, that's genuine. He's a designer and he knows in that space it would look better.
It
So
would look
he's
better.
being genuine. It's also upselling because we do
Right.
have to make a living. But that's great feedback.
Yeah. So, and you know, without that, I go, oh, and when if they are into it, oh yeah, maybe we can put some, you know, kidney pillows on each of the sofas and you know, and the chairs, just to kind of bring things up and up. She goes, oh. I've had people come back 3 years later and said, I'm ready to do that. I said, what?
Who are you?
Yeah, exactly. 3 years. Yeah, no, and that's great. That gives you a great feeling.
Yeah.
And they go, when they're there for selecting fabric, they tell me what they would like. You know, they're, oh, I'd like a linen fabric in an oatmeal. And I'm going, okay, you've got oatmeal everywhere else. Restoration Hardware is great for that. If you like that, that's a good look. That's a good look. Not for me. That kind of gives that look will give you a oh, where I'm giving you a oh. Big difference.
That's good.
Big difference. Yeah. Yeah.
What you were saying about your clients coming back, I mean, that connection that you make the first time that you go, they trust you, and once they trust you, you can keep selling them because they see you as a reference of, you know, where to go, and they building that relationship with your clients. I think that's a very incredible way to do business,
Yes.
especially in our, you know.
Relationship selling. That's
Yeah.
what it's all about.
And I
Even
think,
if, go ahead. I was going to say, even if they don't go with you, you planted that seed in their head that, oh, maybe I do need drapes. Honey, what do you think about that? And whatever. A happy wife is a happy life. Yeah. So did that answer you? Okay. Yeah. You know, and every once in a while I would, you know, go through past clients and, you know, maybe either send a text or a card. This is, hey, just been thinking about you. How was your vacation? Or where are you going this year? I know that you go a lot. So, you know, whether they do this or not, but just, you know, at least they've got it. You know, if you send something in the mail, that's the first thing they'll open up. Not their bills, not the Costco, they'll open up your card. So keep that. My big thing, my mother always said, send a thank you note. No matter what, no matter how long it was, there's no time limit to say thanks. So
very
I
true.
do it. I've also, I love taking pictures. I travel a lot. I go to Italy, Greece, yeah, all those places. Take a lot of pictures, and then they're sitting there in my computer. So I print them out, put them on cardstock, make a happy birthday card, or thank you for your business. You know, that's something there. Always a little personal. You can do that when you're not busy, when you don't have 14 clients. But yeah, even that, just stay connected.
And we're in the service business, right? I mean, you wouldn't be here unless you love design and you love helping others. And what Peter's actually talking about was pretty standard 20 or 30 years ago. It was very standard. And then technology just went crazy. And now we're all working like crazy. So that, it's really nice you reminded all of us of
Yeah.
that, because everybody wants to feel important in this world, and making your clients feel important. Repeat business is the best
It's
business,
the
right?
best business, yeah, absolutely. And you know, when that first one comes back again, you go, oh, that's nice. And then you're up on cloud 9 all day. Okay, any questions on draperies?
I have another one.
Sure.
Quick follow-up, you mentioned the publications,
Mm-hmm.
which are the award-winning one that you were in and the others that you followed.
Oh, gosh, I don't even know what they are, but let's see which one. One of these I thought it was
It's probably a southern.
WF Vision, Window Fashion Vision.
Nice.
Yeah, we just get those, and I just kind of thumbed through it, and I thought, you know what, I can do that. Don't be afraid. Do it. And I'm sorry.
I personally love a floor kissing curtain.
Yes.
So how many of your clients feel that this is still in fashion, or like, what is your opinion? Like, do you feel it's practical?
I'm very practical. The puddling, I had a puddle in my own house. First time I vacuumed, sucked it right up. A big hole in it. Said, never again. So yeah, I like the kissing. That depends on if your client has pets and a Roomba. So if you have pets, the hair always collects when they're kissing, but if it's a little bit higher, like an inch off the floor, the Roomba hits it. Very good. Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
I have kind of a similar question, but what is your intake on like the height of placing the curtain itself? Like some
Good
people go
question.
so high.
I love that one. And I'll do my little pointer here. I always like to do, that's the top of the window treatment, and that I always like to do half of it. But if it's really high, it just looks odd to have, you know, if they wanted to have it up to the ceiling, you've got all this space when the curtain is open, when the drape is open, and it just looks like,
Unless you're using a curtain, either side.
correct. But it's, for me, it's still a lot of negative space. I've seen people put pictures along there. Yeah, I know, it's just a little odd. So that's why I kind of like to have it, you know, a little bit, you know, halfway up is my rule of thumb, and always much larger than the window. Because that way it gives you and your drape is going from here to here, you know, from the end of that. That gives the illusion that your window is a lot wider than it really is. Wow, you got really wide windows. My windows aren't like that. I've got the same floor plan. That's what it does. Yeah, just kissing.
Does that change for you depending on the ceiling height, if you want like a larger or smaller appearance?
Yes. Up here, where are we? Up here, I would do it like right up to the ceiling. Yeah, because it all depends on what's going on there. Yeah. And you'll know when you get to, if you could do a couple of jobs, you'll get to know what that looks like. And a little tip for you guys is that when you measure if you get your drapery done, say it's like 80 inches long, and you weren't quite sure if they wanted it off the floor or kissing the floor, have your installer go from where you want it floating to the top of that. So that way you can adjust it. It's cheating, but
Does that make sense to everyone, what he just said?
is that cheating?
No. Designers are cheating all the time to make it look good, right?
Yeah.
We are. We're always doing something. to
Painting
maneuver.
rods.
What's that?
Painting rods.
They were stationary.
Good. Yeah. Any other questions?
I have a question.
Sure.
For vertical hanging, is there any rule or standards to follow for that stack? And are there minimums or anything?
That depends on, good question, does depend on the look or how much wall space you have on either side of it. If you've got a big expanse, I'd go, you know, like maybe 2 widths. One width of fabric is 20 inches, and that is a regular 54-inch piece of fabric. Okay, it all kind of crinkles up to 20 inches. Double that is a 40-inch, so that's 2 panels. A panel and a half is 30 inches, so that's kind of like the next one, yeah. And then after that, you might as well go into a drape. Okay. All right.
More questions?
You consider like the room, like I'm assuming if somebody wants, I don't know, the window coverings, I'll call it, in a bathroom, right? You're
Mhm.
like, oh, this is gonna get moldy, and do you consider that, like, do you
Oh,
have
absolutely.
drapes that
Absolutely.
are,
Don't really do drapes. I do more cornices or valances
yeah,
in that, just to kind of, you know, give a little softness to that angular hard tub sink type.
what kind of textiles, like what kind of material are you
I
doing?
would just use a lot of them, unless of course it's in the shower. You know, a lot of the homes nowadays have that automatic exhaust, yeah, that takes out the steam. But
Fans.
Fabrics you want to avoid, all of you should know that answer.
Yeah.
In a bathroom, what are we avoiding? Natural fibers, synthetic fibers? Which one?
Oh, natural.
good, especially silk. Yeah. I don't know anybody that would have a silk.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
They are over the top.
Yeah, well, there they go. Okay, I'm gonna move on to upholstery. If everybody's okay with that? Okay. Upholstery, go wild. Same thing, go wild. I'll show you what, this is my first, I bought this sofa, loved it, loved the style, the fabric was okay, then it started sagging and not, you know, after a while. So I reupholstered it.
Nice.
Very nice.
Piping, exploded
Wow.
the pattern. Yeah, so before and after.
What was the cost on that, Peter? Do you remember? It's probably your cost, but what would that?
Yeah. It would be almost the same as buying something new.
Almost, yeah.
But then you say, it's your sofa. You know how it fits. It fits in your room. It fits you. Recover it. Do it. And that's a close up of the
Beautiful.
yeah.
You should see him decorating for Christmas. Beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, I do want to back up a little bit. As far as the drapery fabric, you can do most fabrics is drapery, but be cognizant of the weight of it. If anything is like really thick, you can't get the folds of the pleats. They'll just end up going like this. Okay. And also, pull this one out. This fabric is horizontal. It is hard for them to make the fold. So always, I great for Roman fabrics, Roman shades, because everything kind of folds up nicely. But yeah, don't do that, because if you did do it, all your folds would be spread out. Not a good look.
I have a question about the weights too. Are there limitations with like motorized units for drapery when it comes to weight?
Weight, no, not really, only because the drapery company will add more brackets
Oh,
to it. Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty good. And if you don't, if you need more brackets, go ahead and order extra. ahead and book it. And I always order extra anyway, just in case they need an extra bracket or, you know, you just never know.
And again, why do we do that? So we don't have an installer come out twice.
Right.
So we don't have a dissatisfied customer that wants their stuff done today and they're expecting that.
Yeah, and that's where the disappointment comes, and that's a reflection on you. Also, I always add extra rings, especially some of them are wooden and they just get broken in transit, and or I've had one client, their 5-year-old swung from the drapes like Tarzan and broke the ring. Didn't rip the fabric, and I thought, ooh, that's lucky. Yeah, so I actually had an extra ring, gave it to him, said, you put it up. It was your kid.
Yes.
No, I helped him out. Yeah, so yeah, it's always good to have a little trick in your bag.
Is there any time that we shouldn't use a thinner fabric? Or are there like cons to something more thin?
The thin fabric would be kind of more like a sheer drape. If you wanted to, if they liked the sheer, a lot of the sheers now have, oh my gosh, there are a lot of designs on it. You know, fleur-de-lis with bling all over it, and you know, totally mind-boggling. You can put a backing on it, you know, light filtering or, you know, another light filtering on it. Yeah, other than that, I don't think so. No limit on that. You would probably want to be cognizant if you had fabric that with a big weave, and you've got a big drape, and depending on how tall it is, it may pull apart on you. So if it's not lined, it will pull apart on you. Okay. Yeah. And a lot of these fabrics are great for Roman shades, different styles. We've got your relaxed, not too keen on that, and you've got your classic Roman, and those are has a bandage on that. It's good for, you know, you bring in another fabric in the room. This one does not have a valance on the top because it's rolled off the top. If you want something closer to the window, it'll roll that way, and you'll need a valance on top. They're usually about 6 inches. That way it hides all the mechanisms. If you didn't, then you know you've got about 3 or 4 inches of space between the wall and the Roman shade where you can see in. This is a hobbled, where it looks the same as it does when it's up. Oh, that's a different. So many remotes. Anyway, let's move on. It's not working for me.
Again, you're doing great.
Again. Next.
I have a,
Sure.
you were talking about the one fabric that's like kind of like watery, you said. Would you recommend using that one more because it has like it rolls more and it looks more like a wave, or would you recommend more of like that one because it has like that curve and it can, you know.
I'm not following you.
Yeah, can you say more about that,
I'm sorry.
Sharon? What is your question?
For the project that you did, I think for the magazine, she's talking about what kind of, right?
Yeah.
What kind of fabric you used?
Yeah.
Was it like a thinner, a thicker, like, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
It was kind of like, I would say it would be a linen-like with linen like, there's always polyester in it. And, you know, whether the linen is cotton or actually linen, yeah, that was the fabric. Yeah. It was a high-end fabric. And I thought, well, you know, you guys picked it out. So there's the bill. Okay, so any more questions on maybe?
Depending on the different, or else you don't have to answer for each, but what's the, like the average cost for a project? If you're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna get this type or this type or this type.
That all depends on the fabric. Fabrics are now, if not over $100 a yard. Yeah. So, and if you get Schumacher or anything like that, those high-end fabrics, they're 300 plus. And if you've got a 20-foot ceiling, yeah. Yeah. And it's great with a client that comes in and says, this is the fabric I want. It's good, you know it. It's a Schumacher fabric and you know what the price is. So, yeah.
So I actually have a question. When you start the process of creating with your client,
Mm-hmm.
let's say I'm your client and I want to redo my sofas and everything.
Okay.
So, but it's kind of hard for them to picture the whole thing together, right?
Right.
So how do you start it? Do you start by creating based on the curtains or like window treatment, or you start by other piece like a like based on what?
Yeah.
You do all
Yeah.
that.
A lot of times there is an inspiration, whether it's the carpet or the sofa or grandma's chair, you know, so you can work off that. You know, that's where you can kind of say, oh, in your mind, I said, oh, I can see a print pattern on that. Then you kind of delve a little bit more. What do you like? Do you like florals? Do you like geometrics? Do you like stripes? And she goes, oh, no florals. My husband would not have a floral in there. I said, well, what about a vine? That's manly. And also floral. So it's kind of get the balance between the two sexes. Yeah. So there will always be, in my opinion, there will always be a base, an inspiration to kind of go from. Yeah, and then as I would probably do, well, as I'm looking for the drapery fabric, I'll see that, oh yeah, this green will work really well. But then we've got grandma's chair, you do that, and this could be draperies, you know, or the ottoman. So you kind of go through and you kind of think of that fully, the full picture when you're going through. And I always find something else for another client that I always put paper clips on. So when you're going through that, I mean, we had 40 feet of drapery fabrics, fabric colors, and 5 shelves, and they're all underneath here. So having a 6'1" guy bending over, looking at all these fabrics, for each client, you do them all at once. If you get paid, but yeah. Okay.
How long does each project usually take?
Good question. We have, for instance, a Graber company. They also have drapery fabrics and Roman shades. They usually take they will normally take about 8 weeks. If you were going into, you know, one of these Fabric Cut or Trend or another company, 12 weeks. So how that goes is that they used to carry the fabric in their warehouse. Now since COVID, they order it from the mill. That adds another 4 weeks to get to Fabric Cut. Fabric Cut ships it to my workroom. My workroom takes it out after, you know, she gets done with her other projects. 3 weeks later, finds out there's a run in it. And then you gotta go back and start it all over again. Yeah. So, not fun. not a fun phone call. Yeah. So that's why I always say 12 to 14.
Were you referring to production or how long it takes to design?
I guess the whole process, because once obviously they pick the design, then you have to order the material, and then it's like made, and then it's installed.
Right. depends, I guess, on you. How eager you are to spend, you know, a couple of hours thumbing through fabrics and thinking, oh yeah, that's it. And I usually have the client come here so that all my fabrics are around me. So this, no, that's the wrong green. Oh, I've got another one over here. Other than being at her place, well, yeah, other than being at her place and saying, no, that's not it. And then you have to go over and start again. There's exceptions, you know, if she's in a wheelchair or, you know, she's having walking problems, then yeah, you would go back and do your best. So a lot of that, yeah, I would say it would be about 12 weeks. 12 weeks. And average cost, it depends on what it is. Something like that slider with, you know, that opening there, I usually say it starts off with everything, 45 to 55 to 60, 100, 4,500.
Remember, this is custom. There's a difference between going to a store and buying something off the rack versus, like Peter said, you're the expert in this project. And so you're pulling the whole entire design together and everything is truly custom.
Truly custom.
Your lining, you know, that adds money.
Mhm.
Everything you add that's going to actually benefit your client because they live in an area where there's a lot of sun coming in and you need lining, you can't fudge on that. You need lining.
You need lining. And always have a lining in it because once the sun comes in and fades it,